Hey everyone, welcome to Area 616. Ever since Marvel announced the 6 new dates for Phase 4 of the MCU, there have been a lot of questions about who will fill these spots. There's the obvious sequels like Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Captain Marvel, as well as some new entries like Black Widow. But a lot of fans have been wondering if we'll get any truly new characters in Phase 4. We are, of course, eagerly anticipating the arrival of the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, but it's going to be a while before that truly happens. But if recent rumors reportedly leaked online are true, we may now know what Marvel's next big franchise is: the Eternals. Now, this may just be me, but the Eternals are a particular kind of character where I've always been aware of their existence, but I could not for the life of me tell you where they came from or even any of their names outside of maybe Cersei. So I did have to do a bit of research to get familiar with these characters for this video, and in doing so, I found it kind of interesting how similar they are to the Inhumans. So the Eternals are a species, Homo immortalis. It all started when Sisneg, a time-traveling sorcerer, took 2 early humans and sat them in a haven. There they formed a tribe called the Wanderers. One day they were approached by other early humans, supposedly, who offered to let them join the tribe of Mighty Set. They recognized the evil in this tribe, revealing them to be serpent men, and defeating them. After this, they were approached by the Celestials and Gaia. Gaia convinced the Wanderers to approach the Celestials. One of the men was turned into a deviant, Homo descendus, having unstable genomes, and the other into an eternal, Homo immortalis, who are basically perfection. Rather long and extensive history short, they went on to form their own society, with malice forming between the Eternals and the Deviants. As I mentioned before, they're surprisingly similar to the Inhumans. I mean, the Inhumans were chosen as early humans and transformed into what they are by powerful alien beings. With the Eternals, it was the Celestials, and with the Inhumans, it was the Kree. If this rumor is true, it kind of leads me to think that maybe the Eternals were chosen as a substitute for the Inhumans after the TV show bombed, because even Marvel knew they couldn't gain any interest in that name after that. Anyway, so let's run over some of the essential Eternals and Deviants to know, and some facts about them. One thing to know, Eternals must gain permission to reproduce from the Prime Eternal. I think the Prime Eternal in this movie would most likely be Thena, whose name isn't actually Thena, it's Azura. Her name was changed to be more like Athena, the Greek goddess, in order to make some kind of treaty or something. But apparently in the Marvel Universe, Athens is named after her, not Athena. On the Deviant side, I'm pretty sure their leader is Crow, who's pretty much just a bad dude all around. Other notable Eternals include Icarus, who, from what I can tell, is pretty much the main character of the Eternals book, typically. There's also the likes of Ajax and the previously mentioned Cersei, who has actually been an Avenger at several points in the past. There's many more, but if I'm being perfectly honest with you, the sheer amount of history and characters associated with the Eternals is quite staggering, and it makes it honestly kind of difficult to research. Really what you need to know is that they're a race of super-duper people created by the Celestials to protect Earth, putting them in conflict with their destructive half, the Deviants. Apparently Thanos is actually an Eternal, but he was born with a rare disease called the Deviant Syndrome, which made him look like a Deviant, which here means it made him ugly. I'm sure this connection would be explored if we got an Eternals movie. We might even get a mention of it from Thanos in Avengers Infinity War. Now, you've most likely heard that DC is producing a New Gods movie with Ava DuVernay in the director's chair. If we truly are getting an Eternals movie, which the rumor says Marvel is going to announce it soon, I'm curious to see how they'll change it, because honestly, they're really very similar. So in order for Eternals not to be branded a ripoff of New Gods, they're going to have to change some stuff up. It's this and other things that makes me surprised that this is Marvel's next choice. Like over characters like Nova or heck even Blade, they decided to go with the Eternals. I'm not necessarily complaining, I'm just surprised. If this is true, which I think it is, I'm very curious to see how this turns out. It's honestly difficult to figure out when this would come out, as Marvel's announcement that they're sticking to 3 movies a year has made it hard to see how it all works. Like, let's go over all of the movies we know 100% are in Phase 4. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Doctor Strange 2, Black Widow, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man and the Wasp 3. I think it's also a very safe bet to say we'll get Spider-Man 3 as well. Also, it's been said that Thor will continue to have a role in Phase 4 and beyond, so let's go ahead and throw in a Thor 4 as well. Now, unless they throw in some new dates or something, the only way an Eternals movie fits in here is if Marvel decides not to make an Avengers 5. Now, that's certainly possible. We've been repeatedly told that Phase 4 will be very different from what's come before. So maybe that very different has to do with there just not being a team of Avengers anymore. But then again, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, Wasp. Could you imagine how awesome that team of Avengers would be? I'm pretty sure Marvel can and has. So I think it's pretty unlikely we're not getting a new Avengers movie. Another option is Marvel may decide to take it slow with the Eternals and introduce them in another movie before moving forward with their own. In my predicting Phase 4 of the MCU video, I suggested that Thor 4 could introduce the Eternals and Deviants and center its plot around them. Maybe that could actually happen. But I want to know, what do you guys think? Do you think the Eternals are an awesome idea, or do you have other characters in mind? And how do you think Eternals might be able to fit into Marvel's packed schedule? Let me know your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.